Hello and welcome to Monin Park for a Little East Conference doubleheader between the visiting nationally ranked Eastern Connecticut State University Warriors, who come in at 17th in the nation, already have wrapped up the 2021 Little East Conference regular season title, and your UMass Boston Beacons, fresh off their first three-game winning streak of the season, looking to take down a nationally ranked foe. This is their third game against nationally ranked teams this year, went 0-2 against Southern Maine. Need a win today to potentially move into the 4 seed in the Little East Conference tournament. They trail UMass Dartmouth, who has 2 games today against Keene State, by a single victory. Dartmouth, though, went 1-1 against Southern Maine, so the Beacons either need Keene State to sweep UMass Dartmouth today, or they need to get at least one win against the Warriors. Let's take a look right now at our 4 things to know for this matchup. UMass Boston will likely be playing at Eastern Connecticut State. You see the pod format. A couple teams in the Little East Conference are not allowed to stay overnight for conference tournament play. So the top seed will be hosting the 4th and 5th seed in this year's Little East Conference tournament. The 2nd seed will host the 3rd and 6th seed. It'll likely be Eastern hosting UMass Boston and UMass Dartmouth, unless Keene State goes 5-0 to close out the regular season and UMass Boston goes 0-4. That would set up Southern Maine to host Rhode Island College and Castleton, although there could be some funky things going on. Hypothetically, I think Rhode Island College still has a chance to host next weekend. Eastern yesterday throwing a combined no-hitter to wrap up the regular season title. Josh Vincent moved to 6-1. He struck out 10 and walked 2 over the first 5 innings. Ryan Henderson and Andre Jose pitched the final inning. Those 2 allowed 1 walk as Eastern defeated Keene State 11-0 in 7 innings. Beacons have outscored their 2 opponents. They swept Plymouth State last weekend and defeated Rhode Island College by a combined 41-19 mark. And you see Eastern, when you talk about a complete team, they are top 35 in the country in batting average, ERA, and fielding percentage. This team does everything well, and it'll be a very interesting matchup as the Beacons get their first crack at the Warriors, likely to see them again next week, although they would have to beat UMass Dartmouth in the first game of the tournament to see the Warriors in game number 2. There is a situation in which the 4th and the 5th seed, one of those 2 teams, might never see the top seed, as the winner of that first game would then play the Warriors. If the Warriors won, then the loser of that game would play the 4th or 5th seed again in a loser game. So who knows what will happen. First, we've got 2 games today for Eastern, and the Beacons have 2 more tomorrow at Keene State. Let's take a look at the all-time matchup between these 2 sides. Eastern, as they do against almost every team in the conference with the exception of Southern Maine, has a large advantage, leading 42-12, but UMass Boston has had the upper hand recently, 81-24 over the last 7 matchups. The Beacons have the longest winning streak in the nation against Eastern Connecticut State. Eastern won the last matchup, or Eastern's last win against the Beacons came back on April 15, 2017. The Beacons swept Eastern Connecticut State here at Monin Park 6-0 and 10-7 back on April 13, 2019. Nick Herzog in that game, too, the National Player of the Year. 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, an RBI, 2 doubles, a triple, and 3 steals in 3 attempts. Right now, we'll take a look at the highlights of that game, too, from 2019 before we bring you the starting lineups for this contest. Oh-2, hit out to right, and this should score a run. Cutraro, long run, will take it on a hop. Hood's going to come in. Tyler Ruda still looking for his first out of the contest. Hit hard over the head of Riley. That'll score a run. And staying at second base is Parco. So 4 consecutive batters reach. Ruda has been phenomenal. As that one's chopped over to Riley, he'll take it to second and only get 1 chance at first. They're going to give it the double play. Parker looks in. The 3-2 is hit up the middle. Boudreaux extends the hitting streak to 22, and he's got another RBI. McCormick can walk home, and now Boudreaux takes off for second as the center fielder couldn't get to it. 3-2 hit right up the middle. Cessary's taking off. White's going to charge it. He has a phenomenal arm. Cessary being given the go. The throw home is going to be cut off. The Beacons lead it 3-2. Home runs the second game of the season. Hit a 2-run shot in game number 1. That one's hit deep into the corner. Has a chance to get down, and Alexander White can't catch up to it. This is easily going to be a triple. Lopez had to wait, but Herzog recognizing the whole way. That is a stand-up triple. 1-2 coming from Rascati. Palma hits it up the middle. This should easily score 2. It bounces in front of White. On comes Cesare. Heading to third is Riley. And the Beacons lead 7-5. Beginning conference play by Eastern. McCormick hits it through the left side that was drawn in. That'll score 1 run. They're going to hold Herzog at third. And the Beacons have pushed the lead back to 3. 1-2 now. Swung on. Didn't get a piece of it. Kides will apply the tag. And Lefebvre is retired. 1-2 with 1 out. To Eric Gillette, who swings and misses. First strikeout for Tramandozzi. 1-2. Swung on and missed. That'll do it. Bobby Tramandozzi, 6 up, 6 down. Dylan Fashionpour earns the win. First thing that you can notice from those highlights, the fact that there were fans. That was all the way back in 2019. These two teams did not play in 2020. Beacons only getting in 4 non-conference tilts. Let's take a look first at the lineup for Eastern Connecticut State. This is one of the best lineups in the entire country. They have a lot of depth. They have a lot of upperclassmen. Jason Claiborne's had a nice season this year. John Masagno, one of the seniors on this team. Jack Rich is having a strong season at DH. Luke Broadhurst is one of the players to watch in this Eastern lineup, a potential LEC Player of the Year candidate. Absolutely killing the ball. He's a guy who has just been red hot, the senior out of Stafford, Connecticut, working right now on a 6-game hitting streak. This is his 3rd hitting streak of 5 games or more. He came into the week 30th in D3 in slugging, 32nd in OBP, 80th in batting average, and 48th in total bases. I mean, that's an incredible successful season. Holden White, another one of those seniors, but not a guy who started at Eastern. He's one of the many transfers on this team. Actually started as a really talented pitcher at Division I Wake Forest. Came back to his home state, and he has been a great addition offensively. Ryan Bagdasarian's been good. Matt Malcolm, a guy who struggled this year, former Little East Conference Rookie of the Year back in 2019, all-region player, not too shabby to have in the 7th spot. Owen Marika and Noah Plantamura. Take a look at the Beacons defensively for this contest. A couple changes in the lineup in terms of where guys are sitting, but this has been the normal starting lineup for head coach Brendan Igerborough. Thomas Q, the converted third baseman, is out in left. Ben Irvine, the University of Maryland transfer, is in center. Steve Brookwell, the Villanova transfer, in right. Aiden Blake, Gianni Zerilli, Devin Slattery, and Craig Corliss. A pretty young group around the infield. Blake and Zerilli are sophomores who played a little bit as freshmen. Devin Slattery getting his first real starting run as a sophomore. Craig Corliss, Beacon's backup catcher / DH, is at first base so that Nico Kides can be behind the plate. And Tim Cianciola gets the start on the mound, as he has for every home conference doubleheader this year for UMass Boston. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back after the national anthem, and we'll have the numbers on Tim Cianciola and the opening pitch here from Monin Park on Senior Day.
What's really unique, I think, here is that we're really encouraged to not just do research, but to do research that really improves people's lives and solves problems.
Society has really never had to deal with a problem as complex as dealing with climate change before.
Climate Ready Boston is our data-driven approach to climate change and how we can make sure the city of Boston is prepared for the next 100 years. By leveraging the expertise of UMass Boston and Paul and Ellen, we've been able to take the very best science on sea level rise and translate that into a vulnerability assessment. Really what we've relied on them for is their technical expertise and really helping us understand what the science is saying to help us understand what we need to do next, both from a policy perspective, but then also in terms of projects and financing as well.
UMass Boston actually has a long history of working on environmental problems. One of the earliest programs is working in the cleanup of Boston Harbor in the 80s, and that was actually the genesis for the eventual School for the Environment. We started this program in green chemistry, and we're the first university to offer a PhD in that. And then also the School for the Environment is now working in Nantucket and Gloucester and other places around the world.
I was giving a talk a couple of falls ago for this group called the CEO Summit, and I showed this map of South Boston where all the businesses are being built, and there was a gasp, a literal gasp in the audience when they saw that map, and it's like, you could tell that suddenly they realized this wasn't something that is like down the road. This is something we have to deal with now.
Some of my work has actually been cited in a Supreme Court decision. I've met with congressional committees. I've given testimony to the Massachusetts Senate as well as the U.S. Senate on this issue.
We want to make sure that we are on that leading edge of the research, and we know that UMass Boston is committed to these issues and committed to being a good partner for the city.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that, with what we were given, comes a special obligation.
An obligation not merely to work towards a personal best in the classroom or in the sport we love, but rather an obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. For Special Olympics athletes, victory belongs not only to those who first cross the line, but to all of those who compete and endure.
They are challenged in ways we cannot imagine. They are survivors who test themselves harder and with greater joy than we will ever know.
Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn, as we all do, that in giving we receive so much more in return.
Sport ennobles us, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
This has been a year of growth for me, but more importantly, a year of growth for the University of Massachusetts. When I originally was elected to the position, I said that this was my dream job. It's an opportunity to lead a great university, a university that has dramatic impact. A lot has happened. It's been an exciting year. We have had record enrollment. We've had record selectivity. The quality of the students attending the University of Massachusetts has never been stronger. In terms of fundraising, when I was inaugurated as a new president, we raised $1.6 million. It's more money that has ever been raised at any public university inauguration in the history of Massachusetts. We've put $20 million more into financial aid so the students will be able to get the financial assistance that they need. We're interacting with business and industry really across the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, trying to get an understanding from them of what skills they're looking for in terms of who they want to hire to make sure the University of Massachusetts are addressing those needs. I feel energy. I feel that people recognize the fact that we're headed in the right direction and they want to be part of it too. I've had so many parents come up to me and talk about their son or daughter. And I remember talking to a parent who had immigrated from Cambodia and literally tears in his eyes as his daughter is graduating. Those stories are just over and over and over through all of our 5 campuses. There's an indisputable momentum that the University of Massachusetts has right now. All you have to do is visit the campuses and see the quality of the students, the quality of the faculty, and see the enthusiasm. We've made an awful lot of progress, but I can tell you after 1 year, I think of what Dr. King said about a sense of urgency, and that sense of urgency is now. I'm committed to making sure that we keep this momentum going. I'm committed to fighting for the University of Massachusetts in every way that I can, with every fiber that I can, so that we can get to where we want to be, which is the best public university in America. Now is our time. UMass literally can change the world.
Welcome back to Monin Park. We are just about underway for today's Little East Conference doubleheader between the 17th ranked Eastern Connecticut State University Warriors and your UMass Boston Beacons. My name is Seth Dorensky, bringing you both ends of today's Little East Conference doubleheader. We're about to bring you the numbers on Tim Cianciolo. The sophomore out of New Milford, Connecticut, did not appear in a game as a freshman, but has been one of the Beacons' top 4 starters as a sophomore, making his team-leading 4th start of the year. 0-0, a 2.19 ERA, 12 1/3 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts to just 2 walks. That is 35th in Division III in terms of strikeout to walk ratio at an even 8.00. He's also just inside the top 100 with his ERA. In fact, sits at 99. 15 hits, 10 runs, 3 earned in those 12 1/3 innings. Opponents are hitting .288 against him. He's allowed 2 doubles, 3 triples, and a homer. He's also hit a team-leading 6 batters. In his last time out, was let down by the defense a little bit last Sunday. He was pitching very well, but got a no decision. 3 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, but just one of them earned. 4 strikeouts, also allowed 4 extra base hits. This is his 4th start of the year. Has not gone longer than 5 2/3 innings. Has struck out at least 4 in every start, including a career-high 7 strikeouts against UMass Dartmouth 2 weekends ago. Cianciolo and Dylan Ryan, the projected starters today for UMass Boston. They've gone with these 2 sophomores all season long on weekends. UMass Boston playing just 16 conference games on the opposite side. Eastern Connecticut State wrapping up a 33-game regular season, 27-4. Already have clinched the regular season title, 13-1 in LEC play. Their lone loss coming against Southern Maine as those 2 nationally ranked sides split a 4-game set. Split both the conference doubleheader and the non-conference doubleheader. First pitch to Jason Claiborne is fouled off. Claiborne, a true freshman, corner outfielder, actually plays right and center out of Prospect, Connecticut, 6'1", 180. Attended Woodland Regional High School, where he was an all-division player and won the division championship in both baseball and soccer. 0-1 pitch is chopped over towards Blake. This is a tough play. He'll field throw. The throw is well off the line, and that's an infield single. That was a very difficult play. The high bouncer took Blake backwards, and he would have needed not only a perfect throw, but an absolute laser across the diamond to get Claiborne. So a leadoff hit. And it brings up John Masagno, the senior left fielder out of Tappan, New York, 5'10". This is his 5th season as he missed all of 2018 with an injury, making his 109th appearance and 94th start with the Warriors. Cianciolo's first pitch, fastball on the inside, half strike 1. Today's home plate umpire is Joseph Carousel. Our base umpire for Game 1 is Dominic Rivetto. Looking at Claiborne over there at first base, 11 of 15. That's tops on the team in terms of stolen bases as the fastball just misses. 1-1. Masagno came into the weekend with a .334 career batting average, .424 on base percentage, and a slugging percentage just north of 500. 123 of 368, 94 runs scored. Hits this one out to center. Irvine going back on it towards the track, and he'll make the running catch. No advance from Claiborne, and there's 1 down. Ball carried out there to center, although there's not a ton of wind at this moment. Right now, the flags in right center field pretty listless. 1 down for Jack Rich, the designated hitter. Senior who also plays some right field out of Meriden, Connecticut, 5'10", 195. Attended Wilcox Tech High School, where he set the career hitting record and single-season hits record. Playing in his 90th game and making a 60th career start. Rich for his career, just under 300 at 298. 390 on base percentage and 439 slugging percentage. 68 for 228 with 34 runs scored and 46 RBI. In the designated hitter spot today, 1-0 to Rich. Low in there for strike one. I thought that one was a little bit below the knees, but D'Antiolo and Kites will take it 1-1. Rich is making his 24th appearance, 23rd start. It's hit up the middle, chance for two. Slarity able to find Zerilli, pops, throws, and it's an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. So Eastcon gets a leadoff base hit, but unable to do anything with it. We head to the bottom of the first. UMass Boston will face off against Billy Oldham for the first time today.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Take a look at that inning-ending double play ball off the bat of Jack Rich that ended the top of the first. This is just a tailor-made double play ball. Easy play for Slatter. He doesn't even have to move. Finds Zerilli, who takes a step off. The throw across in time. UMass Boston able to get out of the top of the first unscathed. Let's bring you the numbers now on Billy Oldham, the Game 2 starter for Eastcon. They played one game yesterday. Typically, they use Oldham in Game 2 of a 4-game set. Oldham, the sophomore righty out of Brookfield, Connecticut, played baseball and basketball at Brookfield High School. Barely pitched as a freshman in a very short season. 2-0 in 4 innings pitched this season, making his 9th appearance, a start. 3-0 in a team-best 39 in the 3rd innings going into the weekend. 3.20 ERA, 45 strikeouts to 13 walks, 31 hits, 15 runs, 14 earned. Opponents have hit just .212 against him, although 12 of the 31 hits against him have gone for extras, including 10 doubles. The team is a perfect 8-0 in games he's pitched this year. Had 7 or more strikeouts in 4 of his outings, including 9 strikeouts out of the pen against Plymouth State earlier this season. First pitch is outside to Ben Irvine, the University of Maryland transfer who leads it off for the Beacons. Senior center fielder out of Peabody, Massachusetts. 6'2", 175, fouls it off. Irvine in the midst of a 4-game hitting streak in which he's gone 8 for 18, 6 runs scored, 2 RBI, a double, 3 walks, and has stolen 5 out of 6 base attempts, including a perfect 3 for 3. Irvine takes that one low, 2-2 now. Making his 12th start in 13 total games to the Beacon. 333 average, 463 on base, and a 381 slugging percentage. 14 of 42, 10 runs, 8 RBI, 2 doubles, has walked 7 times and struck out 3 times. That's going to be a single through the middle. Eastern was playing the second baseman Plantamura very close to the first base bag, and there was a huge hole up the middle. Aiden Blake moves up in the order. He's been hitting 5th for UMass Boston, but the sophomore third baseman out of Lakeville, Mass, in the 2 spot today, takes a high breaking ball outside. Let's take a look at the Beacon starting lineup. Irvine, Blake, Tirone, and Corliss are the top 2 hitters in this Beacons lineup. Thomas Q, Steve Brookwell, Gianni Zerilli, Nico Kites, and Devin Slattery. So a couple of changes. Brookwell moves down, Blake moves up, and Zerilli, who was the 9-0 hitter the other day, moves up to the 7 spot. But very similar looking group as Blake swings through the fastball 1-1. Blake making his 13th appearance and 11th start. 314 average, 432 on base percentage, and 457 slugging percentage. Leads the team with his 13 RBI. Taking off for second is Irvine. The throw from behind the plate from Malcolm is in there in time. Matt Malcolm pulls out the bow and arrow and fires that in celebration. Really strong throw there from Malcolm to get the speedy Irvine. Irvine on the year, 7 of 9, tops on the Beacons, make it 7 of 10 now. 1 and 2 to Blake with no one on. The defenses have shown out early. 1-2, fastball misses away. 2-2. Oldham last weekend against Castleton on Saturday went 3 1/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 K and 2 strikeouts. Allowed a season high 4 doubles in that big 3. Count runs full to Blake, who's coming off of a 0 for 4 game against Rhode Island College the other day. Swings through it. That's snapped the 6-game hitting streak, and he's 0 for 1 today. First strikeout for Oldham. Brings up a guy who strikes out very rarely. Curtis Tirone, the senior designated hitter out of Waltham, Massachusetts. And his second season with the Beacons, he started every game this year. Second on the team in batting average at 400. Second in slugging percentage at 622 and on base percentage at 509. Takes the low fastball, 1-0. 18 for 45, 11 runs scored, 11 RBI, 3 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer. He's walked 11 times, that's tops in the Beacons, and struck out just 3 times. Takes it inside. Tyrone's another guy who saw a hitting streak come to an end against Rhode Island College on Tuesday. He went 0 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Had been 9 for 17 over his previous 4 games. 2-0 pitch to Tyrone. Make it 3-0. And Tyrone is a guy who has really good pop, but he's what you'd call a professional hitter. He's very happy to take a walk, just keep the lineup moving, especially with the red-hot Craig Corliss behind it. That one is in there. Tyrone was already step out of the batter's box, ready to go down to first. 3-1. Tyrone has taken a circuitous route to UMass Boston, started his collegiate career as a pitcher at Patrick Henry Community College in Virginia back in 2015. Pops that one foul. Then he popped up at Suffolk, another Division III school here in Boston, in 2017. And came to UMass Boston as a junior in 2020. Spending his 4th collegiate season here with the Beacon. And he's one of the guys who will be honored after the conclusion of this first game. Beacons have a large senior class. They're celebrating 8 seniors. We do have, I believe it's at least 2, if not more, seniors who are coming back for next season, but graduating quite a large group who are likely playing their last games here at home this afternoon. 3-2 coming from Oldham, and it's hit out to left center. This one's tailing away from Masagno towards the wall. Masagno is under it and makes the play right in front of the scoreboard. So both teams get leadoff base hits in the first, but unable to do anything with it. We head to the second inning. It'll be Broadhurst, White, and Bagdasarian for the Warriors.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Luke Broadhurst steps to the plate, the senior third baseman out of Stafford, Connecticut. Another one of the transfers between these two sides. Spent his first three semesters at Division I UConn. Was a second-team all-conference player as a sophomore back in 2019. First pitch, takes a breaking ball, check swing, strike one. Played first base and right field as a sophomore. Hit .319, 27 runs, 26 RBI. Hit .410 in conference play. Breaking ball misses away. This season has started every single game. Came into the weekend hitting a team best .436 and a team leading .560 on base percentage and .822 slugging percentage. He's behind the count 1-2 now. 44 of 101. Also leads the team with 39 runs scored, 34 RBI, 10 doubles, 4 triples, and 7 home runs. Leading the team in triples and homers as he fouls this one off. Broadhurst had a great day yesterday, 2 for 2 with a run scored and 3 RBI. Riding a 6-game hitting streak in which he is 10 for 15. With 8 runs scored and 8 RBI. Hits this one out to right, tailing away for Brookwell. This is a very long run, and he is not going to get there foul. The issue with right field here at Monin Park, very similar to Fenway Park, is that there is just so much ground to cover, and you really have to cover that right center field area that Brookwell, standing in right field at a normal park, you'd have to be a track star to be able to get some of the balls that are hit down that right field line at the UMass Boston equivalent of pesky pole. So 1-2. Broadhurst still with life. High fastball coming and a bit too high, 2-2. Broadhurst has scored in a mind-shattering 18 straight games, which Eastern Connecticut State does not keep that stat as there's a foul ball. But I talked to Eastern Connecticut State Sports Information Director Bob Malta the other day, and he says that is almost certainly a program record for consecutive games with the runs scored. 18 in a row. Very, very impressive. 2-2, another foul ball, because that's not only talking about you getting on base, which he does at a high clip, but also the guys around you also have to drive you in. He's had 9, make it 10 multi-RBI games this season. And again, 30th in Division III in slugging percentage, 32nd in OBP, 80th in batting average, and 48th in total bases. 2-2 to Broadhurst. This time it's strike 3. Swings through a fastball that was cutting in on the hand. First strikeout for Cianciolo. And there's one out for Holden White, another one of the transfers in the midst of this Eastern Connecticut State lineup. Holden White showing bunt. Pulls it back as that pitch was well wide. White, a senior out of Wallingford, Connecticut, takes a hard fastball on the inside half, 1-1. 6'6", 240 out of Kingswood Oxford Regional High School, where he was the top prospect in New England and the 54th overall by Prep Baseball Report back in 2016. 1-1 to White, swings through it, 1-2. His junior year as a pitcher, he went 4-0 with a 0.91 ERA, 38 innings, 55 strikeouts in high school. Tore his labrum as a senior, but still was awarded a scholarship at D1 Wake Forest as he takes a hard fastball off the inside half, catching White on the front hip. First hit by pitch for Cianciolo, something that has been an issue for Beacon's pitching. White spent 2 years at Division I Wake Forest as a pitcher, was a lefty specialist in 2017 when the team just missed out on a College World Series appearance, before popping up at Eastern Connecticut State in 2019 as a pitcher and as a position-only player the last 2 seasons. Brings up Ryan Bagdasarian, center fielder out of Glastonbury, Connecticut, another one of those transfers. Senior who spent his first 2 years at UConn Avery Point, making it to the College World Series in the NJCAA Division II. Then he spent 3 semesters as a redshirt at D1 UConn before coming to EastCon. Hits it deep in the hole to Blake. He'll throw it across to first. Long throw off the line. Good play by Corliss to come across. That'll go down as another infield single. Blake has had to back up on a couple of these plays, and it's not easy when you're doing it against the 2 guys who play center field for Eastern Connecticut State. So hit by pitch and a single, both with 1 out. There are 2 aboard for Matt Malcolm, who we saw throw out a batter in the bottom of the first inning on a stolen base attempt. Malcolm, who, at least for his freshman standards, has been scuffling a little bit. LEC Rookie of the Year in 2019. Second team All-Conference and All-New England player as a freshman. Junior out of East Lyme, Connecticut. Takes a good breaking ball just a bit inside. 1-0. Stands at 5'9", making his 24th appearance, 23rd start, hitting .250, .379 on base percentage, and .486 slugging percentage coming into Friday's game. 1-0 from Cianciola, just a bit high, 2-0. His younger brother, Chris Malcolm, been a guy who's been seeing some time playing second base this year for the Warriors. 2-0 to Malcolm, make it 3-0 as Cianciola misses up high with the fastball. Matt, this season, 18 of 72, 18 runs scored, 20 RBI, 2 doubles, 5 homers, has struck out a team-leading 22 times versus 10 walks, been hit by 5 batters, and he's now thrown out 9 of 14 would-be base runners, well over 60%. 3-0 with 2 on and just the 1 out. Hits this one out to right. Brookwell, it's tailing away from him. He does have a beat on it. He'll make the play. Both guys are tagging. Brookwell's throw is the second, cut off by Slattery. The throw comes all the way across, and backing it up is Blake. So a productive out from Malcolm that moves both guys up 90 feet. And with 2 down, Owen Marika steps up to the plate with a pair of runners in scoring position. Owen Marika, the junior shortstop / pitcher out of Haddam, Connecticut, 6'2", 170. Attended Haddam Killingworth High School, where he was an all-state selection and Shoreline Player of the Year as a senior. 3-year starter for the Warriors, making his 31st start of the season. First pitch to him, breaking ball on the outside half, 0-1. Marika, 344, 461 on base percentage, and 398 slugging percentage. 4th on the team with his 32 hits and 93 at bats. 21 runs scored, 12 RBI, 5 doubles. He hits this one up the middle. Should be an easy play for Zerilli on 2 hops. Picks, throws, it's there in time. And Cianciola puts himself in a bit of a jam and works himself out of it. We head to the bottom of the second. It will be 4, 5, 6, Corliss, Q, and Brookwell for the Beacon.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Taking a look at EastCon defensively, Masagno, Bagdasarian, and Claiborne around the outfield. Broadhurst, Marika, Plantamura, and Holden White. The infield with Matt Malcolm, the catcher for Billy Oldham on this team that sits at 27-4, 13-1. Already have wrapped up the LEC regular season title, their 13th regular season title, as between Eastern Connecticut State and Southern Maine, they have won more than the amount of seasons the Little East Conference has had regular season titles, if you count the combined regular season title, where one team might have finished with the same record but has finished second. So both EastCon and Southern Maine have won 13 regular season titles, 26 between them. Keene State has won 3. UMass Boston has won 2, both coming since 2016, winning in 2016 and 2018, and no one else in the conference has won a regular season title. 0-1 here to Craig Corliss, who hits it up softly to Plantamura. It's a bouncer over there to White, who's able to stretch and make the play. Not a good throw from Plantamura, but Holden White bails him out for out number 1, as Craig Corliss, who's been one of the Beacon's top hitters all season long, is retired. Came in with a team best 422 batting average. Brings up Thomas Q, the junior left fielder out of Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. 6 foot 187. Shows bump, pulls it back on the high fastball. All-league honoree at Shrewsbury High, making his 10th start, 12th appearance. Has started 10 in a row now for the Beacons, hitting .361, .429 on base percentage. Second on the team with a .611 slugging percentage. Fouls it up on the right side. Matt Malcolm comes over, and he's not going to have a play. He was 13 of 36, 9 runs scored, 9 RBI, 6 doubles, tops on the Beacon. And he is a guy who, he legs out a ton of doubles. One of those guys where if he hits it to right or left center and the outfielder doesn't rush, he's going to try it for 2. Had a home run against Westcon down at the Westside Athletic Complex. 9 doubles, 5 walks, 3 for 5 on the base pass. Hit safely in each of his last 3, 5 for 12 with 2 runs scored, 4 RBI, 2 doubles, a walk, and 2 for 3 on the base pass. Had multiple hits in 2 of those 3 games as he hits this one out to right. It's a Q shot. Coming in is Claiborne, going out is Plantamura, who will make the play. And a quick 2 outs to start the second for Billy Oldham. Brings up Steve Brookwell, the Beacons senior right fielder out of Hightstown, New Jersey. Spent his freshman year at Division I Villanova. Then he played at Rowan County, South Jersey, Gloucester in 2019 at JUCO before joining the Beacons for the 2020 season. Was an all-region player at Rowan County, South Jersey, Gloucester. Led his team all the way to the NGA-CAA Division III National Championship game before they lost to Cumberland County, their arch rivals. Making his 10th start, 9th appearance, 10th appearance, 9th start, including his 5th start in a row. 1-0 to Brookwell, a good breaking ball, but well outside. 2-0. Brookwell hitting .241, .343 on base percentage, and .310 slugging percentage. 7 of 29, 10 runs scored. He pops it up, foul. 7 RBI, 2 doubles, 7 strikeouts versus 5 walks. He has scuffled his last 2, 0 for 5, but he has scored 3 times and walked 3 times. Two on with 2 down, and Brookwell gets a piece of it. 2-2. So talk about the Beacons having a large class. Eastern has 12 seniors on the team, although according to their website, they do expect at least half of those seniors back next season. 2-2 pitch. It's a great breaking ball that fools Brookwell. 2 strikeouts for Oldham through 2 innings. We head to the third, tied 0-0.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
Nine-one, 2 for the Warriors here in the third. Plantamura, Claiborne, and Misogno. Eastern has 2 hits, a pair of infield singles to the third baseman Blake, and a hit by pitch through the first 2 innings. As Tim Cianciola has been forced to face 2 over the minimum. On the opposite side, Billy Oldham has given up a single base hit and has gone 6 up, 6 down after a caught stealing by Matt Malcolm, his catcher, in the first. Noah Plantamura, junior second baseman out of Bristol, Connecticut, 5'10", 175. Takes a fastball low, 1-0. Played at Bristol Central High School, where he's a 4-year starter at shortstop. Was all conference as a sophomore and junior. Did not play as a senior, though, because he had mono, and it cost him his entire senior season. Hits it up the middle. Tough play for Zerilli, who can't make the catch. I don't know if he was going to get him. And that's a difficult play either way. Another base runner for Eastern on a ball hit at the middle. Still waiting on the official scoring. They are going to give that a base hit. If Zerilli had fielded it cleanly, probably would have gotten him, but it was not going to be an easy play. So Claiborne comes up. He had a high chopper to the third baseman, Blake, in the first, and he was able to beat it out. First pitch is on the inside half. Blake is way in at third base, expecting a potential bunt. Over there at first base, Plantamura, 3 for 3 on the base pass, 1-0. In there for strike 1. Cianciola waiting for the sign. Looks over. Pretty good, sizable lead for Plantamura at first base. Not going. Fastball outside, almost a pitch out. 2-1. Two and one. That is too far inside. 3-1. Cianciola clearly was worried early in this count about a potential bunt from the speedy Claiborne. Now just has to bear down. Ball hit over to Blake. Bobbles it. Only play is to first base and a strong throw. I think he was hoping he could get the runner at second base. Instead makes the smart play And there's one out. Brings up John Masagno, who had a ball to deep center field back in the first inning. Ben Irvine was able to track it down just shy of the warning track. He also made a nice play of his own just in front of the wall on a fly ball by Curtis Tirone in the first. Sagno, a guy who wants to pursue a career in baseball after his playing career ends, wants to work his way up to be a general manager. Bounces up there, good stop from Kites. One and 0 to Masagno. Out there at second base is Plantamuro, reached on an infield signal. Eastern with 27 wins, trying to reach 30 wins for the 31st time in program history. This has been a dominant program in New England for a very long time, although they have been a bit down since Bill Holowati retired. Certainly the best year that current head coach Brian Hamm has had as that breaking ball misses inside. 3-0. Brandon Egerbrodt having a conversation right now with Joseph Caraco. He does not like the current strike zone. Masagno attended Major League Baseball's Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion's 2021 Society for American Baseball Research Virtual Analytics Conference. I know that's a lot of words, but that is a highly thought of convention that's not only was John able to learn a lot, but his resume was sent to every Major League Baseball organization. So could be big for a guy who wants to go on to work in baseball. Currently a business major who's minoring in sports management and management information system. Heading the count 3-1 as Noah Plantamuro out there at second base with just the one out. 3-1, big hack, and he swings through it. 3-2. Plantamuro likely not going here. And the offering, another swing and a miss. Chase the high fastball. Second strikeout for Cianciola. And there are two down for Jack Rich, the senior DH, who grounded into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play in the first. The energy level of this doubleheader seems quite a bit higher than we've seen for some of the other matchups for UMass Boston this season. The Beacons hosted Castleton and swept, UMass Dartmouth and split, and Plymouth State and swept. In conference doubleheaders, they also hosted Southern Maine and Rick in single games and lost those midweek games. But both of these teams seem to be a little bit more fired up for this senior day contest. Eastern trying to end a 7-game losing streak against the Beacons. The Beacons looking to honor their seniors with a win. The ball hit up the middle. Irvine had a long run. They send Plantamura, no play, and it's going to be an RBI single for Jack Rich, and the Warriors strike first. They lead 1-0 here in the top of the third inning. Luke Broadhurst looking to extend the inning. He struck out swinging to start the top of the second. Breaking ball inside, 1-0. Broadhurst just having a ridiculous season where I'm sure a player or two for maybe Southern Maine or Rhode Island College will have a case for Player of the Year, but I would be very surprised if Broadhurst isn't one of the top candidates, if not the likely Player of the Year. I mean, Andrew Hillier, who's the leading hitter for Southern Maine in terms of batting average, is hitting almost a full 100 points below where Broadhurst is heading into the final weekend. The Little East Conference, with everything that has gone on this spring, constant changes, not as up to date as it typically would be, as that bounces up there. But as I take a look at the top statistical leaders, Broadhurst is ahead of the next highest hitter, Craig Corliss of the Beacon, by almost 25 points. And Corliss, who's having a great season and hopefully will be an all-conference player, just doesn't have the same amount of games that Broadhurst has hit. Shallow pop into center. It's caught by Slattery, the second baseman. Broadhurst is 0 for 2, but the Warriors get a run, a leadoff base hit from Plantamuro and a single up the middle, and a 2-out RBI single from Jack Rich, enough to put the Warriors up 1-0.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Bottom of the third inning, 7-8-9 for the Beacons, who do have a base hit in this contest, but Ben Irvine was erased on a strong throw from Matt Malcolm back in the first inning. Billy Oldham has retired 5 in a row. It'll be Zerilli, Kites, and Slattery for the Beacons. Zerilli hits it through the left side. First pitch swinging, and he's got himself a base hit. Second base knock for the Beacons as the sophomore shortstop, Connecticut native, out of Glastonbury, South Glastonbury, is aboard with no outs for Nico Kites. I wonder if the Beacons bunt here. Playing a little bit of small ball, trying to get that run right back against Oldham, who's pitched well. Kites not showing bunt, takes a breaking ball up high. Nico, another player out of the Nutmeg State, junior out of Stamford, Connecticut, 5'9", 195. 11th appearance, 9th start, hitting 200 on the dot, 324 on base percentage, 233 slugging percentage. 1-0, hits it hard through the left side. That's a base hit, and the Beacons have 2 aboard here. A little bit more aggressive in their approach, swinging early in counts. And now, again, I wonder if the Beacons will bunt, but with the guy actually Slattery, not Irvine, as Irvine was going out to retrieve the bat. Irvine's one of those guys that you can bunt with to look to get a base hit. Even with Slattery, I think Eastern's expecting bunt. The third baseman, Broadhurst, gives the signs across the infield. Holden White and Broadhurst are in. Even the middle infielders, at least the second baseman, Plantamura, is in further than you'd expect for double play depth. Devin Slattery, the batter. Sophomore out of Ware, shows bunt before the pitch even comes and pops it up. Malcolm, he's easily going to make the play, and that's not going to get it done. So there's a big first out for Billy Oldham, as Eastern, again, I've never seen this before where the third baseman is the infielder giving the signs to the rest of the infield. Typically, it's the catcher who will step out and make the hand signals very similar to a third base coach. But it's Broadhurst who is going through with the hand signals, making it a lot easier to see what's going on. Ben Irvine, who singled up the middle his first time up, asked for time. He was caught stealing. Beacons have Zerilli at second, Tides at first, a pair of base hits, but then the popped up bunt by Slattery for the first out. UMass Boston gave up a run in the top half of the third, looking to get one right back. Irvine watches a pitch sail wide, 1-0. From Oldham. Fastball right down the middle. 1-1. It seems like home plate umpire Joseph Caraco really likes that low strike. One to Irvine. Fastball that looked fairly off the corner is 1-2. Irvine didn't like it, and we've got a pretty good vantage point from right behind home plate, and that looks like it was tailing well off the corner before it got to the plate. The 1-2, and Irvine's got to protect now. Beacon's trying to avoid squandering this 2-on, no-out chance. Fastball further off the corner, 2-2. Irvine has hit safely in 10 of 12 games this year, in the midst of a 5-game hitting streak, but he does have a pair of RBI, 9 for his last 19. Outfield shading him to pull. Lots of room down that left field line. 2-2 further outside. I don't think that's where Oldham wanted it. So count runs full. Aiden Blake awaits on deck. Zerilli at second. Tides at first. Will the Beacons send the runners? I doubt it, especially with the left-handed batter up. 3-2, the runners do take off. It's ball 4. And Oldham, who was ahead in the count at 1-2 on what to me looked like ball 2, ends up missing with the next 3 pitches to load the bases. First walk of the day for Billy Oldham. Brings up Aiden Blake, who leads the Beacons this season in RBI. Came in with 13. And we're going to see a meeting at the mound for Eastern as they try to settle down Billy Oldham. Oldham, who came in with 45 strikeouts to 13 walks, so better than 3-1. Thus far today is at 2-1, pair of strikeouts and a walk. Brendan Eigerbrodt meeting with his, what looks like almost his entire lineup. He's got 3 base runners and each of the next 3 hitters, so 6 of the 9. Curtis Tirone, who's on deck, and Craig Corliss in the hole, both looking to get their chances. Aiden Blake will step up. Struck out swinging in the first inning. Blake out of a Ponequid Regional High School, where he's a South Conference Coast All-Star, New Bedford Standard Times Super Team member. His team won the 2018 and 2019 South Coast Conference Championships. Trying to get at least 1 run in. Blake takes a good breaking ball for strike 1. I think he was looking fastball the whole way, and that was a really nice slider there. Zerilli at third, Tides at second. They both singled Irvine worked the full count walk. 0-1 pitch to Blake, and he fouls it off quickly. 0-2. Blake to be followed by Curtis Tirone if it gets that far. Blake looking to drive a pitch. 0-2 is high. 1-2. Eastern has already wrapped up the top seed, and these two teams almost certainly will be playing in the same pod next week, as the top seed will host the 4 and the 5. Likely UMass Dartmouth and UMass Boston, although 4 and 5, which team will be which has not been determined. Breaking ball just a bit low, 2-2. That was close. First time these two teams have seen each other in more than 2 years, after they faced off in the 2018 Little East Conference Championship game. The Beacons blowing away the Warriors. Blake hits it hard out to center. This will easily score a run. Tagging at second and third are Zerilli and Kides. It'll be a sacrifice fly as Kides is in at third, and the Beacons have tied the game on Aiden Blake's team-leading 14th RBI of the year. Good job by Aiden there. Gets behind 0-2 in the count, able to put the ball deep enough to not only score Zerilli, but deep enough to get the catcher Kides to third. No advance from Irvine. So first and third with 2 down for Curtis Tirone, who's been one of the Beacons' top hitters all season long. Tirone out of Waltham, Massachusetts. Fakes the first pitch on the outside corner. Another one of those fastballs tailing away from a left-handed hitter that looked like Tirone wasn't happy with the call. Curtis has 3 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer on the season. Old man in this Beacons lineup. That tails further away. His teammates like to joke that he's 35 years old. He's not quite 35, but he's a little bit older than your traditional senior. Graduated from Catholic Memorial High School all the way back in 2014. Has already worked a couple years as a professional in between stops at some colleges. And honestly, everyone has a slightly different path, especially here at Division III. Beacon's very happy that he spent his final 2 seasons here on the Beacons Harbor campus. Fouls that one off 1-2. It's a lot more difficult for these left-handed hitters against this tailing fastball from Oldham, because the strike zone seems to expand on the outside. That's a pitch that Tirone probably normally takes, but with the zone expanding, he has to protect there. 1-2, Tirone right up on the edge of the left-hand batter's box, trying to protect a bit further. 1-2, breaking ball, tailing, foul, and it will get foul. That would have been dangerous down the left field line, but that inside-out swing, just not able to keep it fair long enough. So Tirone still has life. Remember, just 3 strikeouts in 46 at-bats. Over 100 at-bats, you're looking at about 6 or 7 strikeouts. That's a really good percentage. One of the more difficult guys to strike out in the entire conference. 1-2 coming from Oldham. And he hits it out. This is going to stay fair this time, it looks like. Nope, just again, it looked like maybe a bit of wind there pushing that ball foul. That one was a lot closer to staying fair. Hung up a bit. Masagno, who has already seen the ball hit to him by Tirone, where he made a catch jumping right in front of the scoreboard out there in left center, is not playing Tirone to hit the ball down the line. Although he is a bit closer to the line after these last 2 foul balls. 1-2, a run already in. Game is tied at 1-1 as both teams have scored here in the third. Kides at third, Irvine at first. 1-2 offering. Tirone rips this one down the right field line. The Beacons had the lead, and we'll see how much of a lead. Irvine is going to be sent. Picking it up in right is Claiborne. His throw to Plantamura not going to have a play, and the Beacons lead it 3-1 on a 2-run, 2-out double from Curtis Tirone. So struggling to straighten it out. This jumps on a changeup and rips it out to right to give the Beacons their first lead of the day. And Irvine's one of those guys, especially with 2 outs, you're happy as the trail runner as he easily scored on that one. Brings up Craig Corliss, who grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Oldham pulls a fastball that nearly got past Malcolm, had to reach out and make a snap. Corliss, the Siena College transfer, spent his first 3 years at Siena out of Hopkinton, Massachusetts. Throw to second. It's close, but Tirone is back in ahead of the throw to Marika. Corliss came into today's game first on the team in batting average at .422, on base percentage at .536, and slugging percentage at .645. Team high 19 hits and 45 at bats, 14 runs scored. Second on the team with his 12 RBI, 5 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Takes a good breaking ball, 1-1. Corliss has walked 10 times, second on the Beacons, and struck out 8 times. Hit safely in 11 of 12 games with 5 multi-hit contests. Against Plymouth State last Sunday, 6 for 8, 8 runs scored, 7 RBI. Hit for the cycle, had a double, a triple, and a homer across the 2 games, not in one single game, with 3 walks and a hit by pitch. So he reached 10 times on the deck. 1-1 offering with Tirone out there at second. And Corliss takes it inside, 2-1. It doesn't seem like the zone extends as much to right-hand hitters on the inside of the plate as it does to lefty on the outside of the plate. Just something to watch as this game goes along. 2-1 offering. Outside corner 2-2, and Corliss did not like it. Can't really say anything as the Beacons catcher, but maybe it's just the outside corner on both sides is going to be a bit wider. Thomas Q awaits on deck. The Beacons lead it 3-1. Sacrifice fly from Aiden Blake and a 2-run, 2-out double from Curtis Tirone. 2-2 pitch. Corliss fouls it off. Nothing else. The Beacons are making Oldham really throw a lot of pitches in this inning. Over 51 pitches here with 2 outs. Timothy Cianciolo just at 49. Lots of movement behind second base. 2-2 pitch. Corliss pops it up. This one looks like it'll get foul, and it does. Behind the Beacons dugout. Beacons have a lot of players with 2 fingers on their hats charging up. Been a thing in the Beacons dugout for a number of years now. Charging up with 2 strikes, whether it's their team hitting or their team pitching. 2-2, 2 outs, and Corliss takes it low, 3-2. It's been a long inning for Oldham, who faced the minimum through 2 with just the 1 hit allowed. Back-to-back singles to lead off, got a popped-up bunt for the first out. Then he walked Ben Irvine after being ahead 1-2. Sacrifice fly from Aiden Blake, and a 2-out, 2-run, 2-strike double from Curtis Tirone. 3-2 pitch to Corliss, swings and misses, fooled by the breaking ball. 3rd strikeout of the game for Oldham, but the Beacons strike for 3 runs here in the 3rd. They lead it 3-1 after 3.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Take a look around the rest of the conference. Most of the conference games this weekend being played on Friday. Rick sweeping Plymouth State yesterday, including a mercy rule win. UMass Dartmouth moved to 8 conference wins. The Beacons currently sit at 7 wins. They swept Western Connecticut State with a pair of 10-inning games. Southern Maine had no troubles with Castleton. And in the lone game between Eastern Connecticut State and Keene State yesterday, Eastern, a no-hitter over 7 innings, a combined no-hitter. First no-hitter in Eastern program history that involved multiple pitchers. Their first since, I believe it was 2017. And the only other conference game going on right now, Rick leads Keene State 5-0. One Keene State loss over their last 5 games would eliminate Keene State. Right now, Castleton is the 6th seed. They have played all 16 conference games. They sit at 6-10. So Castleton is a big fan of Rhode Island College right now. Second pitch to Holden White. It pops up on the left side of the infield. Aiden Blake calls for it and makes the play for out number 1. Brings up Ryan Bagdasarian, who had an infield single to the third baseman Blake back in the 2nd inning. Bagdasarian chops one foul. Ryan yesterday went 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. Had a double in that contest. Josh Vincent, the team's ace, a senior out of New London, Connecticut. It's now 0-2. Vincent, who started his career at UConn Avery Point, a JUCO in Connecticut, and then pitched at Division II Chowan University in North Carolina before joining Eastern Connecticut State for his 5th year in 2020. Now in his 6th season here in 2021. Vincent is amongst the nation leaders. These were his numbers before yesterday's no-hitter. Came in at 5-1 with a sparkling 0.93 ERA. Not even best on the team. That's Aiden Dunn, who we'll likely see in Game 2. The ball is hit by Bagdasarian out to shallow right field. Easy play for Brookwell. And there are 2 down here in the top of the 4th for Matt Malcolm, the junior catcher who flew out to right his first time up. Nice to see Cianciolo has had no troubles here after the long half inning. The Beacons scoring 3 runs, sending 7 players to the plate in the bottom of the 3rd. Come out and pitched well, pitched efficiently and quickly. First pitch to Malcolm. First pitch swinging, fouls it off. Cianciolo and Dylan Ryan, the Beacons' likely Game 2 starter, have both started 3 games in these conference doubleheaders here at home, have both pitched well enough to pick up 1 or multiple wins, but have not gotten a win yet. Last weekend, both of them had the Beacons' offensive support early, jumping out to a 10-0 lead in Game 1, 6-0 in Game 2, but the defense let them down as they weren't able to get through 5 innings. And so they had to give up the ball to a reliever who picked up the victory. 0-2 to Malcolm on the inside half, strike 3. A very efficient inning for Tim Cianciolo and the Beacons. We head to the Bottom of the fourth, it's UMass Boston 3, Eastern Connecticut State 1.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Thomas Q is the leadoff batter here for UMass Boston in the bottom of the fourth inning. Takes a first pitch strike. Hits the second pitch off the middle. Should be an easy play for Marika. Fields throws, and it's in time for out number 1. Brings up Steve Brookwell, Beacon's right fielder. Brookwell struck out swinging to end the fourth inning. So he takes the first pitch over foul down the third baseline. Broadhurst was there. Gianni Zarilli, the on-deck hitter, as we saw an incredibly quick top of the fourth. And now Oldham trying to get a quick bottom of the fourth, as he's already retired the leadoff hitter on just 2 pitches and is ahead 0-2 here to Steve Brookwell. Beacons lead at 3-1. Both teams with 4 hits thus far, no errors. Brookwell hits it over to Marika again. This is an easier play and a strong throw. Retires Brookwell for out number 2. Gianni Zarilli, who started off the Beacons' third inning rally with a single on the first pitch to the left field and came in to score on Aiden Blake's sacrifice fly, steps up. Zarilli takes a strike. Oldham is yet to throw a ball this inning. Thrown 6 pitches, 6 strikes. Has gotten 2 out. 0-1, swing and a miss, make it 0-2. Offering fastball just misses. Malcolm framed it, hoping for a strike 3 call. Really, who came in 10 for 36 on the season. Hits this one out to right. Coming in on it is Claiborne. Out on his play is Plantamura, who will call for it and make the play. A very quick 4th inning on both sides. We head to the 5th. UMass Boston leading it 3-1.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
The well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Top of the 5th inning is Tim Cianciolo back out there, facing 8-9-1, Marika, Plantamura, and Claiborne. Marika grounded out to shortstop to end the 2nd inning with a runner at second base and 2 out. Marika has hit safely in 6 straight games. 9 for 19, make it 9 for 20 during that span. Hits one high out to left, coming in on his cue. Camps under it, and he makes the play. The pace of play has been really fast. Both teams are swinging early in counts these last inning plus. We see the 9-0 hitter Noah Plantamura, who's the only player to have scored today for Eastern, reached on an infield single to the shortstop, moved to second on a ground out by Claiborne, the leadoff hitter, and then came in on a 2-out RBI single from Jack Rich. Hits this one out the middle off of Cianciolo, who is in a lot of pain. Going to be another base hit. I don't know how Cianciolo's doing, but does not look like he's going to immediately recover from this one, as that caught him. It looks like maybe on the ankle. We'll take a look at the replay and see exactly where it caught him, but that's always a scary thing for a pitcher. That ball was stung on a hop, and sometimes you see pitchers immediately bounce back. Cianciolo does not look all that happy as he talks to Ed Perkins, Brendan Eigerbrodt, and a number of his teammates. We'll bring you that replay when we've got it. Just kind of trying to stretch out that right leg. Not sure if it caught the ankle or a little bit higher up, as they're going to give him some warm-up pitches, I would assume. Right now, the Beacons did not have anyone warming, but all of a sudden, they'll get someone up. Take a look at the replay. And this ball is just stung off the bat of Plantamura. You can see, just has that right leg extended. So Cianciolo appears to be okay. See him hopping there. Never fun to get hit by a baseball, especially off the ankle there. Probably caught a little bit of bone. Might swell up a little bit after the game, but hoping he can get through this 5th inning. Again, still looking for that first collegiate victory here as a sophomore. Did not pitch in a game as a freshman. The Beacons only playing 4. Jason Claiborne, the leadoff hitter, shows bunt and puts it foul. And that's a great idea. I was actually about to say, why not try to bunt when you know the pitcher might be hobbling a little bit? Take advantage of it. Claiborne also, tremendous speed. Starts in right, but they've moved him to center field quite a few times this season. Claiborne today, an infield single to third, a ground out to third. Lantamura over there at first base. Another foul ball. Quickly 0-2 as Claiborne a couple of big hacks. Claiborne is the team leader in stolen bases this year with 11 for the Warriors. Cianciolo, who was pitching so efficiently, had retired 5 in a row before that infield single, looking to get right back into a groove. 0-2 pitch to Claiborne, another foul ball as he fists that one over the netting. Throw over. Back in plenty of time is Plantamura, who has stolen 3 bases in 3 attempts this year. Oh, 2 pitch hit out to left on a line. That'll get down in front of Q. Back-to-back base hit for the Warriors here with 1 out. And there's 2 on with the 1 out for John Misagno, senior left fielder who has flown out to center and struck out swinging in 2 at bat. Cianciolo will look back at second. First pitch to Misagno is clubbed out to left. That's going to score Plantamura. Claiborne heads to third. They will hold him at third base, and Misagno's got himself an RBI double. And just like that, it's a 3-2 game with Jack Rich stepping up to the plate with 1 out. So 3 straight hits. The second 2 coming after Cianciolo took a 1-hop grounder off the ankle. Plantamura has scored twice. Claiborne's out at third, the tying run. Misagno, the go-ahead run for Jack Rich, who has been either feast or famine today. 4-6-3 inning-ending double play, and an RBI single up the middle in the third for the senior DH. Takes the first pitch inside 1-0. Rich came into the weekend just under 300 at 299 with 15 runs scored and 18 RBI. Went 0 for 2 yesterday, ending a 5-game hitting streak as he gets a piece of that one. 1-1. Cianciolo looking to limit the damage here. 1-1 hit over the shortstop. Only play will be to first, but he loses it. They're going to send the runner Misagno. Q's throw is to the mound, and it is 2 runs in on the error from Zerilli. That ball was right through the legs, and I think that he just took his eye off it. That is a bad miscue. There should have been 2 outs, a runner on third, and a 3-3 game. Instead, it's 2 runs in, a runner at first base, and Eastern leads it on the error from Zerilli. It'll go down as an RBI for Rich, who reaches, but 2 runs coming in, and Misagno going hard there, able to score. Q's throw was well off the line. You want that to the plate. Instead, he found the mound with Cianciolo. Cal Berman comes out and talks to the Beacons sophomore pitcher, and the infield. There's another defensive miscue behind Cianciolo, who gave up 7 runs, 1 earned last week in his start, and that's one you really want back. Brings up Luke Broadhurst, who's a guy who can do some damage. Broadhurst today has struck out swinging, popped up to second, fouls the first pitch right back. And this is something that UMass Boston is going to have to clean up if they are going to do anything in the Little East Conference tournament. They have to start making some of the easy plays defensively. This isn't to pick out Zerilli. I mean, it was Zerilli's miscue, but this is something they've been kind of doing the last couple of weeks. And short season, the Beacons have had a lot less reps than they normally would. No fall ball. The shortest preseason of any Little East Conference team, only had 3 weeks of actual team practices, and 10 days of that were cut short because of a COVID pause. The 0-2 pitch to Broadhurst is outside, 1-2. But at some point, calling it a short season and not having those reps can only take you so far. You've got to iron out some of those issues, especially going into the postseason when some of those miscues are only going to be magnified. 1-2 coming to Broadhurst with Rich over there at first base after the air. Strike 3 looking. It's a good way to bounce back. The 4th strikeout for Cianciolo, and now both of those runs, the 3rd and 4th run, are unearned. Hurts even more because the Beacons would have been out of the inning. Actually, the 3rd run stays earned, but the 4th run never would have scored. Brings up Holden White, who was hit by a pitch and stranded at 3rd in the 2nd inning. Popped up to the 3rd baseman in the 4th inning. He took an absolutely massive swing at that first pitch and missed. Had 7 multi-hit games this season. 0-1 to White. Well outside, 1-1. White last Saturday against Castleton, 6 for 8 with 5 runs scored, 3 RBI, a double, and a homer. Had 3 hits in both ends of that doubleheader. One coming to White. Misses low, 2-1. Cianciolo looking to get out of the inning with just the 3 runs. It was a fly out to left and a single that caught his ankle. He stayed in the game but allowed single, double. What should have been a run-scoring groundout became a 2-run ball that went through the wickets of Zerilli for an error, and then got a strikeout for the 2nd out. Cianciolo, just a couple of big breaths behind the count, 3-1 to White, who is an imposing presence in the left-hander's batter's box. It's at 6-6. Takes a pitch low. He's reached twice. And there are 2 on with 2 out. First walk of the day for Cianciolo. Brings up Ryan Bagdasarian. Bagdasarian, who's had 8 multi-hit and multi-run games. The senior out of Glastonbury, Connecticut. Another one of those seniors who did not start their career at EastCon's campus, as the first pitch misses wide from Cianciolo. Cianciolo right around 80 pitches for the contest after this long half inning. 1-0 coming to Bagdasarian. Breaking ball misses wide, 2-0. Cianciolo just looking to find the strike zone here. Doesn't want to put anything too easy over the plate as he misses high at the fastball. 3-0, Matt Malcolm awaits on deck. He would be the 9th hitter of the inning, and this is a spot where it's bad enough it's 4-3 right now. You don't want to allow Eastern to blow this game open. Four-pitch walk. Already seen Berman come out once to settle Cianciolo down. We actually saw the Beacons coaching staff and Ed Perkins, the head trainer, come out after Cianciolo was hit by a pitch, or hit by a batted ball. So there are 2 outs. The bases are full of Warriors from Matt Malcolm, the junior catcher who has flown out to right and struck out looking. Back-to-back walks after Cianciolo had not walked anyone through the first 4 2/3 inning. First pitch to Malcolm. I don't know where that missed. Looked like it was about belt high over the plate, but it's 1-0. Cianciolo's now thrown 6 consecutive balls. 1-0, breaking ball, catches the outside half, 1-1. Big spot in this game as Eastern's already scored 3 runs, countering the Beacons 3 runs in the bottom of the third to take a 4-3 lead. Inning extended because of an error earlier on in the frame by the Beacons. 1-1 pitch, foul back, 1-2. Good job by Cianciolo to settle in a little bit. He looks to get this third and final out of the inning. Matt Malcolm, the 2019 Little East Conference Rookie of the Year. Junior working against Tim Cianciolo, a sophomore who did not get to pitch during the 2020 season, so essentially freshman in terms of experience. Big spot, bases are full of Warriors. Jack Rich at third reached on an error, and then back-to-back walks to Holden White and Ryan Bagdasarian. 1-2 offering, chopped over the third baseman Blake. He'll go across the diamond. The throw is low, but Corliss makes the scoop for a big third out. Eastern gets 3 thanks to an RBI double from John Masagno and an error by the Beacons, allowing 2 runs to score. It is 4-3 Eastern after 4.5.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Billy Oldham awaiting his catcher, Matt Malcolm, who made the third out of that last half inning. Oldham to face off against Kides, Slattery, and Irvine as he has the lead for the second time today. Had a 1-0 lead after the top of the third and immediately gave up 3 runs. Hoping to do better here in the bottom of the 5th. As Oldham, who has pitched 8 times and has seen his team win 8 times, looking to move to 4-0. Josh Vincent, the team's ace, is 6-1. And Aiden Dunn, who's the team's likely Game 3 starter, is 4-0. Very good top three in terms of starting pitchers. Oh, 1 here to Nico Kides, who singled out to left and scored on a 2-run, 2-out double by Curtis Tirone in the third, quickly behind 0-2. He saw a very quick inning from Oldham in the fourth inning when he threw all strikes. I think it was 8 pitches for a 3-out inning. One and two here to Kides, who's the only returning starter from the Beacons 2019 College World Series team. Takes a breaking ball just off the corner. 2-2. Nico went 0 for 4 the other day against Rhode Island College after having an okay day against Plymouth State the previous weekend. Two and two to the junior catcher. Check swing. 3-2. Three-two offering from Oldham. Swung on and missed. Overpowers him with the fastball. That is the 4th strikeout for Oldham. And there's 1 out for Devin Slattery. Slattery came up with 2 on and no outs in the third inning and popped up a bunt foul to the catcher, Malcolm, for the first out. Slattery, the sophomore out of Ware, Mass., who attended Ware Junior Senior High School, played basketball, football, and baseball. All league in all 3 sports. Making his 7th start of the year, 318 average, 423 on base percentage, 364 slugging percentage, 7 for 22 with 5 runs scored and 5 RBI. One coming from Oldham. And first we're going to get time. The 1-1 fouled off, 1-2 now. Slattery, the 9-hole hitter, to be followed by Ben Irvine, Beacon senior center fielder, who has reached twice today. And Slattery whiffs on a breaking ball. Back-to-back strikeouts here for Oldham. First time he's done that today. And 2 quick outs as Oldham is now retired 6 in a row. Oldham up to 79 pitches. The opposite side, Cianciolo at 86. The LEC tournament starting on Thursday. I'd be surprised if either pitcher really gets stretched out today. They pulled Josh Vincent yesterday after 5 innings, 85 pitches, despite the fact he was throwing a no-hitter. 0-2 to Irvine as Oldham really has that breaking ball working right now. That's the sign from Malcolm, and the 0-2 pitch is fouled off. Beacons looking to get something going here in the 5th after they gave up 3 runs in the lead in the top half of the inning. Irvine fouls one off down towards James Cotter Field, where the Beacons lacrosse team will be hosting their first ever Little East Conference Championship game in just about an hour and 45 minutes. The top-seeded Beacons will take on third-seeded Western Connecticut State. who they defeated 19-15 in the regular season. Could be a good one. 0-2 here to Irvine. And he hits one out to left, right at Masagno, though. And it's back-to-back 1-2-3 innings from Billy Oldham. We head to the 6th. It's Eastern Connecticut State 4, UMass Boston 3.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Top of the 6th inning, Eastern Connecticut State will start with Marika, Plantamora, and Claiborne. Same group that started the 5th inning as Eastern sent 9 guys to the plate in the 5th. They scored 3 runs, the final 2 runs unearned, to take a 4-3 lead. Cianciolo has not pitched a complete 6 innings yet this season. Went 5 2/3 innings against UMass Dartmouth 2 weekends ago. Has not had a decision all season long. Right now is in line for the loss. 0-0 in 3 starts with a 2.08 ERAs. That's a high fastball that swung through and missed by Marika, who has grounded out to short and flown out to left. It was a high fly ball that was caught in shallow left field by Q to start off the 5th inning. 1-1 from Cianciolo, fouled back, 1-2. The Beacons do have a righty warming. Nothing going on in the Eastern bullpen. It looks like it's Mike Doherty, one of the Beacons' 8 seniors, who is warming up. Doherty, one of the Beacons' best relievers, and certainly one of their most experienced relievers, is the 1-2. Try to get him to chase another fastball, but that was just a bit too high out of the hands of Cianciolo. Popped up behind home plate. Kaides appears to have a beat on it. Backing up, and he makes the play. Good job there for Nico, who had to fight the wind a bit and the sun that's kind of peering through the clouds here in Dorchester. And Brendan Eichenbrandt's going to come out, and I think that might be it for Cianciolo. I didn't see anything there, but apparently that was the one batter they wanted Cianciolo to get. Now they're going to bring on Mike Doherty for Plantamura in the bottom of the order, as and the top of the order. Plantamura is a perfect 2 for 2. He was the guy who hit that one hopper that caught the ankle of Cianciolo back in the 5th to start that little bit of a rally. So that'll do it for Cianciolo. He goes 5 1/3 innings, his second longest outing of the season. Can't pick up the win, hoping to not get the loss. The Beacons will bring on Mike Doherty, and we'll take a break and bring you the numbers on Doherty and the final line on Cianciolo after this commercial break.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
The Beacons reliever is Mike Doherty, the senior out of Brewster, Massachusetts, who's coming on to make his 5th appearance. 1-0 with a 2.84 ERA, 6 1/3 innings, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. Opponents have hit .261 against him. He's another guy who's been affected by some of the Beacons' COVID pauses. Pitched really well in the Beacons' opener against Southern Maine. In that one, he went 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts. Then he was forced to go into isolation and didn't pitch for 2 weeks. Came back and threw an inning against Southern Maine, gave up 2 earned, but has pitched really well his last 2 times out. Western Connecticut State went an inning, allowed a hit, a strikeout, and induced an inning double play. And against Plymouth State last Sunday, got the win. 2 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. Comes on for Tim Cianciolo. 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 earned, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Hoping to get another no decision as he hopes the Beacons can come back and win this game. Cianciolo and the Beacons are 2-1 in the games he started this year. It'll be Noah Plantamura, second baseman, who has singled to the shortstop and scored, and singled back off the pitcher and scored, so hasn't put the ball out of the infield yet. First pitch fastball from Doherty misses high. UMass Boston has a bit of a trickier situation this weekend in that they have 2 more tomorrow against Keene. So they've got to figure out how to handle their staff. This is the first time the Beacons have played 4 games in a weekend. Eastern's been doing it consistently. And Eastern only had a 3-game weekend. They played Keene for a single game yesterday. Only had to go 7 and use 3 pitchers in a no-hitter. 1-1 hit over the shortstop. Cirilli backhands it. Hicks throws. It's a strong throw. And Plantamura is retired for the first time today. So 2 down for the top of the order, and Jason Claiborne, who has a pair of hits today, a single to the third baseman to lead off the game, single to left and scored in the 5th, and grounded out to third in the 3rd. So this is a lefty who likes to go the other way. First pitch from Doherty, fouled off. Where else? Down the left field line. (0-1) to Claiborne. Doherty, a long pause. His 0-1 pitch hit back up the middle. Better approach from Claiborne, at least from what most hitting coaches would say. He's got 3 hits in 4 trips. After going 3 for 3 with 2 runs and 2 RBI yesterday, not too shabby. Now 45 for 113. Brings up John Masagno, who went 0 for 2 to start his day, a fly out to left and a strikeout swinging before doubling down the left field line to drive in Plantamura. And then he was the second run to score on that error by Zerilli in the 5th, the go-ahead run. Doherty throws across. Claiborne is a guy you want to watch. He's yet to attempt a stolen base, but he now actually 12 for 14 as he stole a base. 12 for 15, stole a base yesterday against Keene. Two 2-0 here to Masagno. Claiborne at first, and Masagno pops this one up into shallow center. Coming on is Irvine. It's a long run, and he will camp under it and make the play as Slattery gives way. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It is 4-3 Eastern, 2-3-4 due up for UMass Boston.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Billy Oldham stays out there to face Blake, Tirone, and Corliss, middle of the Beacons lineup. Blake is 0 for 1 today, a strikeout swinging, and then a big sac fly with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 4th. Hit this one hard out to center. Tracking it, getting under it, and making the play is Bagdasarian for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Oldham, which is probably good because he came in with 85 pitches to start the inning. There's not a pitch count for every game this season for Eastern, but thus far for the 5 games that there are totals, he's thrown 90-plus pitches 3 times, including a season-high 103 pitches against Rhode Island College in his longest outing of the year, 7 innings. So still got about 15 pitches till he gets to 100. 0-1 here to Tirone, who has the big hit for the Beacons. A 2-run, 2-out double in the 3rd to right field after fouling off a number of pitches. Tirone is 1 for 2, hit a ball to the wall in left field that Masagno made a jumping catch right in front of the scoreboard. 1-1, right down the middle low. 2-1. I don't quite know where that missed. It's not the first time that I've been confused by the strike zone. The Beacons head coach, Brendan Eigerbrodt, has certainly thought there were some calls that were missed. 2-1, hit out to left. This one's tailing towards the fencing, and it'll get out of play. And actually almost caught I'm not sure if that's the Beacons coaching staff or a spectator that is here for the lacrosse championship game, scheduled to start at 4, but that missed by a matter of inches. Very dangerous spot between the baseball field and the lacrosse field. Much more for the lacrosse spectators and players because they're not expecting a baseball to fly. It'd be much more interesting to see a lacrosse ball come that far out of the complex on the fly. 2-2 here to Tirone. And Tirone takes it on the inside half. He doesn't think it was a strike. And it's the 6th strikeout for Oldham, who, again, gave up 3 runs in the 3rd, but since then has now retired 9 in a row. Faces Craig Corliss, who grounded out to second and struck out swinging to end the 3rd with Tirone at second base. First pitch to Corliss is low, 1-0. Pitch. He fouls that off of his own leg there, and he's down in some pain. It's a really awkward play where he fouled it off in such a way that I think it caught the back of one of his legs. Brendan Eigerbrot's going to come out along with Ed Perkins, and Corliss slowly getting back up. Even if he's okay, that's just one that's gonna hurt a bit. Don't see it all that often where you foul it off yourself, especially there. I don't think it was the front of the foot. I think it was the back of the leg. Corliss trying to walk it off. The other side, Oldham meets with Malcolm, just trying to give him a bit more time. Corliss back in there, 1-1 here. Came in hitting .422, but 0 for 2 in this contest. Oldham has really settled down, retiring 9 in a row after giving up the lead, and there it goes. Corliss, by law of averages, able to get that first hit in 3 trips. And the Beacons have their first base runner since the 3rd inning, a 2-out base hit for Craig Corliss. It'll bring Thomas Q to the plate. Q has popped up to second and grounded out to short. Nothing else. The Beacons looking to drive up Oldham's pitch count. He's at 90 right now. Not that this Eastern bullpen is anything where you're excited to get to the bullpen, although these top 3 starters, the way they go, maybe you are. Eastern as a team, a 3.22 ERA. Got quite a number of arms that head coach Brian Ham can use. Chopper over the shortstop, Marika. He'll go the long way to first. The throw is there in time. So Oldham able to work around the 2-out base hit. We head to the 7th. It's still a 4-3 Eastern lead.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Taking a look ahead for UMass Boston, they will travel to Keene State tomorrow to close out the regular season. Games at noon and 3 against the Keene State College Owls. The LEC tournament, the Beacons will be in. The only question is, what seed will the Beacons be? Likely the 4th or 5th. There's one scenario where Keene State wins out, and they are the 5th seed. The Beacons are the 6th. But Keene State currently trails Rhode Island College 10-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning, so that's probably not going to happen. So the Beacons will be one of either the 4th or the 5th seed and play UMass Dartmouth. They need a win today against Eastern Connecticut State to really help their chances, as UMass Dartmouth at 8-7 have one game left. but they do have a win over Southern Maine. The Beacons went 0-2. UMass Dartmouth will play Plymouth State on Monday with one conference game. So if the Beacons and Corsairs finish tied for conference wins, but the Beacons don't win a game against Eastern today, they will lose the tiebreaker and be the 5 seed. If they win one game today and finish tied or have more wins than UMass Dartmouth, they will be the 4 seed. Either way, those two teams will play at Eastern Connecticut State on Thursday. The winner of that game will play Eastern on Thursday in a winner's bracket game. The loser will be off until Saturday, when they will play in Game 3 against the loser of Eastern Connecticut State and the winner of Game 1. The double elimination pod, the winner of that pod will take on the winner of the pod that will have Southern Maine, Rhode Island College, and Castleton. The only question is who will be the 2 seed and host that pod between Rhode Island College and Southern Maine. First pitch, breaking ball, catches the corner to Jack Rich. Rich has grounded into a double play, had an RBI single in the 3rd, and his ball that went through the legs of Zerilli back in the 5th drove in 2 runs, only counted as 1 RBI. He flies out to center here, and there's 1 out in the 7th for Doherty, who got the final 2 outs of the 6th inning. Gone a complete inning, is yet to allow much damage, just a Jason Claiborne single. Southern Maine has actually clinched the 2 seed as I look at it. They own the tiebreaker over Rhode Island College, who can finish tied with Southern Maine on victories, but Southern Maine at 12-4. Rhode Island College, even if they sweep Keene today, the best they can do is 12-4. So Southern Maine, the 2 seed, Rhode Island College, the 3 seed. Castleton, the 6 seed if Keene State loses a single game. And the real question is who is 4th and who is 5th between UMass Boston and UMass Dartmouth. Absolutely clubbed out to left, but well foul there off the bat of Luke Broadhurst. That was a mammoth fly ball that not only got over the fence, it's going to get all the way to the edge of the lacrosse complex on the track. Say that ball went a good 500 feet if you include the roll. Broadhurst has had a difficult day. Hits it over to the second baseman, Slattery, who fields, throws, and Luke Broadhurst, who led the conference coming in to the weekend, hitting .447, is now 0 for 4. A pair of strikeouts, pop up to second, and a grounder to second. Brings up Holden White, 0 for 1, a pop up to third. Has been hit by a pitch and walked, not scored. White, a former top pitching prospect who was viewed as the best prospect in all of New England going into his senior year before an injury. Pitched at Wake Forest, really good Division I program, before transferring to EastCon. First pitch to White, swings through a fastball, 0-1. Owen White pitched in 3 games in 2019, his first year with Eastern, and had a 16.2 ERA. Position-only player the last 2 years, and he's showing how good of an athlete he is. He's been quite the hitter. Went 5 for 13 with a homer and 2 RBI in 2020. This season came into the weekend hitting over 400. 1-1 to White. Still looking for his first hit of the day. Takes it off the corner. 2-1 now. Two-1 offering. Breaking ball bounces up there. 3-1. And the 3-1 is hit out to right center field. Holden White has his first hit. He'll hold up at first base. He can still have just the 1-2-3 inning. That came in the top of the 4th inning. Other side, Billy Oldham, back-to-back 1-2-3 frames in the 4th and the 5th, and actually the 2nd. So he's done a little bit better of a job in limiting the Beacons' offense. Brings up Ryan Bagdasarian, who has an infield single, a fly out to right, and a walk. Another pitch that bounces up there, but Kaidi's a stone wall behind home plate. Bagdasarian, a 4-pitch walk to load the bases in the 5th before Cianciolo was able to get out of it with the grounder to third base. 1-0 hit up the middle. Irvine coming in on it, has a play. And the Warriors are retired in the 7th. We are 2 hours and 8 minutes in, and we're through 6.5. It is 4-3 Eastern after 6.5.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school, it's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Brookwell, Zerilli, and Kaidi, 6, 7, 8 for the Beacons as they look to get a run across here against Billy Oldham, who has been very good. Oldham, who comes into the inning with 96 pitches, 64 for strike. About 2-1. Has allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 6 strikeouts, and a walk. Beacons have a single double. It was the big hit for the Beacons in the 3rd inning. A 2-run, 2-out double to give the Beacons a 3-1 lead. Eastern countering with 3 runs in the 5th to retake the lead. Pair of runs scoring unearned as the 1-1 catches the outside corner. Brookwell did not like it. And we've seen a lot of those where it's mostly the Beacons hitters, but we've seen it from Eastern as well. They do not love this zone. It seems like both corners have been extended for these pitchers as the 1-2. Did he go? They say he did not. Eastern's bench certainly thought he did as they were screaming for Malcolm to find it. 2-2 here to Brookwell, who was struck out swinging and grounded out to short. 2-2 on the outside half. Nothing Brookwell can really argue about from my perspective that time. Looked very good. 7th strikeout of the day for Oldham, who has now, since giving up those 3 runs, has struck out 5 batters. In the last 12. Zerilli behind the count 0-1. The sophomore shortstop had a single to the opposing shortstop and scored in the 3rd. Popped up to 2nd to end the 4th. He's behind 0-2. 0-2 offering misses further out wide. 1-2. This is probably the best pair of pitching matchups we'll see in a doubleheader this season at Monin Park. Oldham and Cianciolo. Likely game 2 is Aiden Dunn and Dylan Ryan. Really just gets a piece of that out to shallow left center. It's staying up, though, and making the running play is Oldham. It looked like that had a good chance to get down in front of both outfielders, but instead it hung up for a while, and even Masagno, the left fielder, could have taken that if not for being called off by the center fielder, Bagdasarian. Nico Cadiz takes a first pitch breaking ball for strike one. Cadiz singled to left and scored and struck out swinging his two at bats. Swings through a breaking ball. 0-2. To Cadiz. Check swing. It's strike three either way. A strikeout for Oldham, who gets another 1-2-3 inning. 105 pitches. Wonder if we'll see him come out for the eighth as he's tied his season high in innings pitched. We go to the eighth. It is Eastern Connecticut State, the 17th ranked team in the nation, leading it 4-3.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well, but it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that, and it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Top of the eighth inning, Mike Doherty is on to pitch his second full inning. Already gone an inning and two-thirds, has allowed a pair of singles, both with two outs. Doherty will face 7, 8, 9. First time he'll have faced Malcolm and Marika. He came on to start his outing against Plantamura, with one out in the sixth. Eastern leading it 4-3. They scored one in the third. The Beacons responded with three of their own. And then 3 runs coming in the fifth. The final 2 unearned on an error by Gianni Zerilli. It would be a tough way for the Beacons to lose this game. The lone error of the contest. A ball that should have likely tied the game at 3, but allowed 2 runs to score. And Tim D'Anciolo was able to work around the rest of the inning to get out of it. Currently on the hook for the loss. As Doherty gets a swing and a miss from Matt Malcolm, who was 0 for 3, a fly out to right, a strikeout looking, and a ground out to third. Malcolm, the junior catcher out of East Lyme, Connecticut. 0-1 breaking ball. Cadiz held it there for a while. Again, it's just one of those pitches where I think even Cadiz in the last at bat thought, hey, I took a pitch that was much further out and you called it strike 3. The 1-1 is chopped softly down to the third base side. Tough play for Blake Fields. Throws the cross in time, and Corliss can't hang on. Think he would have had him, but instead it's another infield hit. Malcolm doesn't know that he's safe. He's literally reacting like to his first base coach, Coach, I'm out. But I don't think he saw that Corliss wasn't able to hang on. Go down as another infield hit. Eastern's had 9 hits in this game, 8 of them singles, and I think They've had 3 infield singles to third and a 4th to shortstop. So 4 of their 9 hits have been infield hits as Beacons come way in at third, expecting a bunt here from Owen Marika, who's 0 for 3 at the ground out to short, a fly out to left, and a pop up behind home plate that Nico Kaides made a play on. Marika does have 3 sack bunts on the year, second on the team. Doherty will throw over again. Such weak contact that it allowed Malcolm, the catcher, to make it a close play. And I think the throw beat him as putting down the bunt is Marika. Doherty's going to field. Only play is to first. Low throw. Corliss makes the play this time. And Marika gets the job done. Goes down as a 1-3 sack bunt. Malcolm up to second with 1 out for Noah Plantamura. Plantamura has a pair of hits, a pair of runs scored. Also grounded out to short against Mike Doherty. That was the first batter that Doherty faced. Plantamura, the junior out of Bristol, Connecticut, was also an all-conference player at Bristol Central High School in basketball. First pitch to Plantamura, fouls it off down the right field side. As a basketball player, he set the season record for made three-pointers as a senior before missing the baseball season due to mono. Making his 28th start of the year, came in hitting .330. Yesterday went 1 for 3 with the run scored. 0-1 to Plantamura, hits it out to right field. Brookwell is under it. Tagging at second is Malcolm. Don't think they're going to actually send him, and they won't. Throw was a decent throw from Brookwell. So there are 2 down here in the top of the 8th for Jason Claiborne, who has a team best 3 hits and 4 trips. Claiborne singled to third, grounded out to third, singled to left and scored in the 5th, and singled up the middle against Doherty back in the 6th. So 3 for 4, 6 for his last 7 with 3 runs scored and 2 RBI. Red hot for the true freshman out of Prospect, Connecticut. Good thing, too, because he had his worst game of the season in Game 2 last Saturday against Castleton. Game that could really hurt your confidence. He went 0 for 6 with 7 left on base in a win over Castleton last Saturday. It didn't hurt the team, but it's certainly going to hurt your batting average. Runner at second is Malcolm. That's too far inside. 1-0. John Masagno awaits on deck. The Eastern Connecticut State softball team, ranked 6th in the country, just defeated UMass Boston softball in Game 1. 9-1 Mercy Rule win in 6th inning. Beacon softball team has already been eliminated from the LEC tournament, so this Game 2 at Eastern will be their final game of the 16-game regular season and 16-game season for the Beacon. Doherty taking a long time. He'll throw back to second, even though Malcolm was there in time. Pitched quickly here, but clearly is not as confident against Claiborne, who has one of the 3 hits against him. Trying to keep this game at 4-3. The Beacons will go 9-1-2 in the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 pitch, good curveball there that catches the outside corner. Came in a little bit low, but they say that caught the zone on its way down. 1-1 here. Beacons do have a reliever up in the pen, hoping that pitcher would be on for the 9th. 1-1 offering another curveball, foul down the left field line. 1-2. Doherty does not have a strikeout in this outing. Two and a third innings. Doesn't have a walk either, just the 3 singles. Takes a look back at Malcolm. The 1-2 pitch. Claiborne hits it out to left. Should be playable for Q. Backing up a few steps. And Q able to make the play. So Mike Doherty keeps the Beacons in this game. Another scoreless inning. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Will Billy Oldham come out for an 8th inning? Or will we finally see this Eastern Connecticut State pen? We'll find out after this commercial break.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
Billy Oldham is out for the 8th inning. This would be the longest outing of his collegiate career. Already over 100 pitches, 108 to be exact, 73 of them for strike. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to a Beacons pinch hitter. It's Michael Como, the senior first baseman who pinch hits for Devin Slattery, 0 for 2. Como takes a good breaking ball inside 1-1. Como, who has started a few games over at first base, senior out of Andover, Mass. Making his 11th appearance, 7th off the bench. Heading the count 2-1 now. Como 4 for 15, 267 batting average, a run scored, 7 RBI, 1 double, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks, has been hit by 2 pitches. He went 2 for 4 with 5 RBI last Saturday in Game 2 against Plymouth State. 2-2 here as he tries to come through. Beacons look to get a leadoff base runner. They have not scored since the 3rd when they scored 3 runs. Top of the order due up next. 2-2 hit right back up the middle off of Oldham. He's going to try to pick it up. The throw over to first is in time. We've got to take a look at that replay. It's a great job by Oldham, who was hit in the back to recover. Como thinks he's safe. The Beacons first base coach thinks he's safe. Brendan Eigerbrodt is screaming at the first base umpire, thinking he's safe. It was a close play. Very much 50-50. We'll take a look at it, but Brendan Eigerbrodt is infuriated right now. And when we've got the replay, we'll take a look at it. Oldham says that hit his pitching arm. Ooh. That's not great. I mean, it was a good throw to first, but I thought that caught his back. He's saying that it hit his right arm, and that is a big worry. Take a look at the replay right now, and let's slow it down when it gets to first. So first off is the ball hitting off Oldham, and that's a scary thing. But then he's able to recover. It's a bang-bang play over here at first base. And Como that looks bang bang. That looks right there, if not even. We'll take a look at it one last time. I thought he was out on first viewing, but this one, it looks like he might have gotten the foot down in time. It's a strong throw from Oldham. Como does not run all that well. And you see the throw, and, I mean, that's even. The old adage, tie goes to the runner. I'm not sure if Oldham can stay in this game, though. And that's the bigger worry if you're Eastern. I think Oldham is done. They're going to have as much time as they need to warm up the pitcher. So even though the Beacons don't get the base runner, not in the way they wanted, I think they just ended Billy Oldham's day, and they have. Hopefully Oldham is okay for the LEC tournament because he looked tremendous today. And now we're going to see the bullpen for Eastern needing to get 5 out. The new pitcher is Brian Albee, the senior out of Killingly, Connecticut, 6'2", 200, transfer out of New England College, where he spent his first semester, but he's been at Eastern ever since. Wasn't great his first 2 years. A 9.70 ERA in 21 1/3 innings. Pitched 2 1/3 scoreless innings in 2020. This year, he's been one of their best relievers, making his team-leading 15th appearance, 3-1 with 1 save, 2.11 ERA, 21 1/3 innings, 31 strikeouts, which is 4th most on the roster, 9 walks, 14 hits, 1 earned. Opponents have hit just 135 against him. Giving up 1 extra base hit in those 21 1/3 innings, a double. Gone multiple innings in 4 games, including 2 innings in 3 innings twice. Pitched last Sunday against Castleton and picked up the win. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and a walk. And he's likely on for what would be a 5-out save. First pitch coming to Ben Irvine, hit up the middle, and even though it wasn't hit all that hard, they're playing him to pull, and that's another single for Irvine, who is now 2 for 3, a pair of singles, a walk and a run scored, and a fly out to left. So the Beacons thought they had a leadoff base runner. That might have been a double play with the runner on first. Instead, runner at first with 1 out for Aiden Blake, who was struck out swinging, had a sac fly out to center and flew out to center. Throw over to first, and Irvine is back in time. Malcolm, again, has thrown out 9 of 14 would-be base runners. So I really doubt, including Irvine in the first inning, I doubt you send Irvine here unless it's a hit and run. Blake takes a breaking ball, 0-1. Oldham's day is done. 7 1/3 innings, 113 total pitches, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 8 strikeouts to 1 walk. 0-1 coming to Blake. Breaking ball that thought was going to hit him ends up close to the zone, 1-1. Blake to be followed by Tirone and Corliss. Part of the Beacons lineup as they look to at least tie the game here in the 8th. Eastern has led ever since they scored 3 runs in the 5th to take a 4-3 lead. 2-1. Blake hits it out to right. This is shallow. Coming in is Claiborne, and he's going to make the play. Irvine was off first, but able to get back in time. So again, that ball looked like it had a shot to get down. Instead, hangs up long enough for Claiborne to get there in plenty of time. And there are 2 outs for Curtis Tirone, who's 1 for 3 today. Flew out to left, to the wall in left, where Masagno made a jumping catch. 2-run double to right, and struck out swinging. First pitch to Tirone. Gets away from Malcolm, and Irvine will advance on the pass ball. So that's huge, because now you have Irvine, one of the Beacon's fastest base runners, out at second base. With 2 outs, he'll be going hard on everything. And you've got one of your best hitters, one of the 2 guys in the lineup hitting over 400. Bit of a break there for UMass Boston. Can Tirone come through? 1-0 to the senior out of Waltham. Takes a breaking ball inside, 2-0. And while you always want to be the guy who gets the big hit, Tirone is not going to change his approach here. He'll be content to take a walk, knowing that Craig Corliss, the Beacon's top hitter in terms of average, is right behind him. 2-0 to Tirone. Fastball, I don't know where it missed. Eastern doesn't know either. 3-0. That looked like it was on that outside corner, but... And now they're just going to give the intentional walk. At 3-0, why even bother? The second walk issued by Eastern pitching today. I think the Beacons are going to use a pinch runner over at first base for the designated hitter, just trying to get a little bit more speed, as they've got the game tying and potential go-ahead run on base right now. Well, first they're going to have a conversation, but it looks like they are going to use a pinch runner. It would be Luke Levitt who will pinch run at first for the Beacons DH. Two on, 2 outs for Craig Corliss. Levitt, the freshman outfielder out of Manchester by the CMass, coming on for his 5th pinch running trip of the season. Scored 3 times. Beacons have won every game he's appeared in. The Beacons would love that to continue. 2 on, 2 outs, and Corliss takes the first pitch off the corner. Corliss has grounded out to second, struck out swinging, and singled through the left side. 1 for 3 in 3 trips. Transfer out of Siena College, who leads the Beacons in batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage. Cleanup hitter playing first. Takes a fastball on the outside half, 1-1. Thomas Q in the on-deck circle. This has been the first time the Beacons have had multiple base runners since the 3rd, and only the 2nd time today. Beacons started the inning by a comebacker from pinch hitter Michael Como that hit the pitching arm of Billy Oldham. Oldham was able to get Como at first, but did not stay in the game. 1-1 to Corliss. Breaking ball hit out to right. Claiborne should be able to get there. It stays up for a while. Claiborne coming in, and he'll make the play. So the Beacons put the go-ahead run at first, but unable to scratch across the run. We go to the 9th. The game stays 4-3 in favor of the visitors, the Eastern Connecticut State University Warriors.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Mike Doherty, the Beacons senior reliever's day is done. 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no earned, no walks, no strikeouts. An effective outing on senior day. He gives way to sophomore Ethan Herrera, who is ostensibly the Beacons closer, although they really haven't used him that often or had that many save situations. They've either blown teams out or they've lost some close games. Herrera, the sophomore out of Newington, Connecticut, making his 4th appearance. Lost on opening day despite not giving up an earned run. Has 1 save on the year, a 0.00 ERA, and an inning and 2/3, no strikeouts, 1 walk, 2 hits, 2 runs, 0 earned. This is his first outing since the 24th of April. Came out with the bases loaded and 2 outs and got a line out to shortstop to end the contest. He did come on defensively as a replacement for Steve Brookwell after Brookwell hurt his leg trying to beat out an infield single. Two-way player for the Beacons out of Newington, Connecticut. For Eastern, it'll be 2-3-4. Masagno, Rich, and Broadhurst looking to extend their lead. They haven't scored since the 5th. Masagno is 1 for 4. Pair of flyouts to center. RBI double to left and scored the go-ahead run on an error by the Beacons. Also struck out swinging. First pitch from Herrera misses. Guy who came in as an outfielder. Fastball hit out to left. This one is deep. Got a chance to go, and it's gone. John Masagno, a huge insurance run. Clubs a homer over the mini monster and left, and it is 5-3 Eastern, just like that. For Masagno, that is his 7th home run of the season to tie Luke Broadhurst. And that is just crushing if you're the Beacons. You just had a chance to potentially tie it or take the lead. And Craig Corliss flies out to right. And now Eastern has a 2-run lead. Showing bunt and pulling it back is Jack Rich, the DH, who grounded into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play in the first. RBI single up the middle in the third. Reached on an error by the shortstop, picked up an RBI on that play that put 2 runners in the 5th, and then flew out to center in the 7th. Eastern 3 outs away from potentially their 28th victory of the year in 32 games. Rich fouls it off, 1-2. One and 2 as Herrera looks to settle in. Can't allow this game to get any further. Turns the deficit. Swung on and missed. Rich chases a pitch out of the zone. That's just the 5th strikeout for Beacons pitching today. As a team, they came in averaging over 10.5 strikeouts per game. Brings up Luke Broadhurst, Eastern's top hitter, who's 0 for 4, a pair of strikeouts, a pop-up to second, and a ground out to second. Impressive that they've been able to do this much without Broadhurst doing anything. Broadhurst's 18-game streak with the run scored is in jeopardy, though. Would have to get on and score here. As the 0-1 to Broadhurst. Thought about swinging and did not go 1-1. Remember, these two teams will play Game 2 later on this afternoon. It will take a little bit longer in between games, because the Beacons will honor their 8 seniors at the conclusion of Game 1. Herrera low with the fastball, 2-1. So typically we say 20 to 25 minutes between games. Today it might be closer to 35 to 40. 2-1 offering from Herrera, hit out to right, tailing foul, and it will get foul. So 2-2 here to Broadhurst. The lacrosse championship game has the two teams warming up. The Beacons, the top seed, taking on Western Connecticut State, the 3rd seed, after Western upset Keene State the other day. 2-2 offering. Hit over to the third baseman, Blake. Takes it on 2 hops. Picks, throws, and it's a good one to get Broadhurst, who is now 0 for 5. Upsets the 5-hole hitter and first baseman Holden White. White has been hit by a pitch. Popped up to the third baseman. Walked. And single. So 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch to White. Slow chopper over to the second baseman, Lee Young, who came on as a defensive replacement for Como. And that will do it for the Warriors. But a leadoff solo shot over the mini monster from Misogno makes it 5-3 Warriors heading to the bottom of the 9th. We'll see 5, 6, 7, Q, Brookwell, and Zerilli as the Beacons need at least 2 to extend it.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris. The subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. It's one of those moments you never forget.
Eastern Connecticut State will go to their third pitcher of the afternoon as Brian Albee goes 2/3 an inning, 1 hit, no runs, no earned, 1 walk. They'll bring on Nathan Farino, the sophomore out of East Haven, Connecticut. Farino making his 13th appearance, 1-0 with a 1.74 ERA, 20 2/3 innings. The team's closer with 3 saves, 33 strikeouts to 5 walks, 13 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned. Opponents have hit just 169 against him. He's allowed a double and a home run in those 20 2/3 innings. He does have 5 wild pitches. All 4 of the earned runs against him this season came in a single outing as he gets Q waving at a breaking ball well out in front. All 4 of those runs came against Southern Maine in Game 2 of that 4-game set. For a season-high 4 2/3 innings last Saturday against Castleton as Q, well out ahead of that breaking ball, fouls it off. Quickly 0-2. So this will not be easy for the Beacons. They try to come back here in Game 1. 2 teams very well could be facing off against each other again once or multiple times next weekend at Eastern Connecticut's baseball stadium. It is a true stadium, just like Monin Park, although they have more seats in their stadium, quite a few more than Monin Park. The 1-2 offering. Q hits it up the middle, fisted. Marika makes the play, the throw across. It's low, but White able to get there. It's a great play by Marika. That ball hung up long enough for him to get there. It looked like it had a chance to get into center, and instead Marika makes yet another play at shortstop. That is his 4th assist of the day. The Beacons are going to pinch hit for Steve Brookwell and bring up Nick Palma, one of their seniors on senior day. Palma, a 4th-year senior. Been with the program the entire way. Senior out of Peabody, Massachusetts. Making his 10th appearance. 3 for 15 with the run scored and 2 RBI. Went 1 for 1 with the run scored last Sunday in game number 2 against Plymouth State. 0-1 offering to Palma. Hit over through the right side, just underneath of Holden White, who ended up doing a face plant into the red turf. And I would assume that they'll get a pinch runner here for Palma. And they will. It'll be Danny Colazzo, the Beacons junior out of Stamford, Connecticut, one of their go-to defensive replacements and pinch runners. So Colazzo aboard at first base for Gianni Zerilli. Now the tough part is with that solo shot in the top of the ninth. The Beacons need 2 here. Colazzo not the game tying, but just one of the 2 runs the Beacons need. First pitch to Zerilli on the outside half, 0-1. Zerilli today, Beacon sophomore shortstop, singled a run scored in the 3rd, popped up to 2nd, and flew out to center. Zerilli, big cut, swings and misses. Nico Kaidi is in the on-deck circle as the Beacons look to come up with a 9th inning rally here against the Warriors to win Game 1 on Senior Day. 0-2 pitch to Zerilli. Another hard breaking ball away from Zerilli. Outside, though, 1-2. Beacon's asking for time as Colazzo, the runner at first base, ties his shoes. Remember to stick with us after this first game. We'll bring you the Senior Day ceremony live here on the Beacons Broadcast Network before closing out the broadcast and bringing you Game 2 about 25 minutes after the end of the Senior Day ceremony. 1-2 pitches are really fouled back. Stays at 1-2. Reno looking for his 4th save on the year. Eastern tries to move to 14-1 in conference play. Already wrapped up the regular season title yesterday. Swung on and missed, but it gets away from Malcolm. What a break for the Beacons. 2 on with 1 out after the rare strikeout wild pitch. So just like, I say it's rare, but it cost John Means of the Baltimore Orioles a no-hitter the other day against the Seattle Mariners. As Means threw what would have been a perfect game except for a strikeout wild pitch that allowed the lone Mariner to reach all game. One of 2 no-hitters this week in Major League Baseball. There was another one last night. And actually now they are saying that because there was a runner at first, that he is out. So there are 2 outs. That was a weird one. The umpires initially let him run down. But instead there are 2 outs, so no such good fortune for the Beacons. Kaides steps up, and he hits one out to left. This one's going to fall in front of Masagno, I thought. Instead, Masagno makes a running play. Eastern team covers so much ground, and that will do it for Game 1. Eastern wins by a 5-3 score. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back with Senior Day here from Monin Park as it is 5-3 Eastern here in Game number 1. members playing final home on Ben Irvine. One year member program, Ben UMass Boston playing it. This Ben is getting 33, 11 of 12. 8 has 10 on die. This past Monday, Ben 5 better. 1, 10, Irvine. The second is number 4, Curtis Tirone. Now in his second season with Curtis, currently sitting with 100 average. Curtis an OPS of 1,130 started all. It's 11 RBI. For this 5. Our third today is Noah Potter. Member of Noah has tireless level on the Harbor. They're both top. His work from culminating. Hailing from Austin, Texas, number Noah Potter. Kelly transfers run to the college world. This is play as a first Kelly Our 1, Steve Brookwell. Another one has lost 20 and 6 doubles per 4. This double 7 guy. Hailing ice number 21, Brookwell. Is for 26, Tyler Aruda. A member of Tyler work. This point 1-8. Yes. It's all strikeouts. Hailing Tyler Aruda. Next, number 38, Michael Como. A versatile player, Mike was hitting control in the title run. This night, out of the starting time. Currently has 1 double, 7 RBI, 8 over Clemens 8 last Sunday. Mike over 7 RBI to lead. Hailing over Mass 8, Michael Como. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the 2021 UMass Boston Senior Day ceremony. We wish we could have had fans in the stands for this momentous occasion, but hopefully they can celebrate with their families after today's games. We're going to wrap up the broadcast right now. We will be back with Game 2 in about 25 to 30 minutes as Eastern Connecticut State downs the Beacons 5-3 here in game number 1.